Welcome back, RealVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith, and I've got another property for you. This is land by the park, $999. So it's a little over a third of an acre, and it's by a park that has like baseball and basketball and picnic tables and a lake that you can go fishing in. And I get a lot of people asking about floodplain on these kinds of properties, and so I'm going to show you a floodplain map so that it's not in the floodplain. And if you have comments, questions, stuff like that about these properties, please put them in the comments below in the YouTube comments, and I'll try to get them answered. I'll try to roll through them and answer them as much as I can. I'll even make more videos about answering good questions. If you get some good questions in there, I'll try to. I don't know the answers of all of them, but I can go research them and I can try to figure them out and come to a conclusion, right? So we'll see what I can find. So here we're on this property. This is another one of mine here, Luke Smith. Up here is my name and number. So contact me with questions for sale by owner. Hit those buttons. Right up here is I'm asking $999. It's in Union County, Arkansas, and it's 0.36 acres. The nice thing about Union County, Arkansas is that there's no planning and zoning. There's no planning and zoning in this county. There is code enforcement because it's in a town. The town is El Dorado, and so they have like local municipal codes that the police are supposed to enforce on you, whatever those codes may be. I don't really understand those codes and know them. But eventually moving into the neighborhood and stuff, you should probably look up the local codes. It's probably stuff like don't burn tires in your front yard and some basic things like that just to keep the neighborhood clean. But they don't have zoning that says you can't do this here and you can only do that over there. They don't have that. They have municipal codes. So that's a nice piece about this part of the country. Let's pull this up. So I got some different maps. This is southern Arkansas between Texarkana and Greenville, Mississippi, north of Shreveport, south of where's Bill Clinton from? Little Rock, Arkansas. So here's the park. It's just south of this park, and there's a little road that goes back in here, and access route. Here's the access route. We'll jump into this on Street View. I'll talk about it in a sec more. Here is the road headed back to the property. If you can see on there, it's kind of small in the video, but there's like a cement chunk in the way, like one of those things you put on the side of the freeway so people don't go running off the cliff or something. And a pile of dirt. I mean, someone's just trying to keep you from going back into that property, but it's your property, so as soon as we get the paperwork done, it's your property. You can move those things or make it happen. So here's the road getting back into there, Detroit Avenue. Pictures. Okay, so there's maps, and you can look at all these pictures and maps by going to RealVacantLand.com. There's a link in the description of this video to get back here. What I want to show you is my favorite part of this website is the map search. So I'm pulling up the map search. This piece with just this property on here. It's got the lot lines of this property. So this one's a little over a third of an acre. It's almost a fourth of an acre, or sorry, 4/10 of an acre. It's more than a third of an acre. And it's got this pond. Look at this. This pond over here is part of the property, or part of the park that's next to the property. So the parking lot is just north of the property. So you could park in the parking lot. You could park in your front yard, put in a driveway, park there, and you walk out and you're in the park. And there's a baseball field. I'll move it down here so we can see the baseball field. You can see the baseball field up there at the top of the screen. Over my head, there's some pavilions for like picnicking and that kind of stuff. And then there's I don't know what this thing is. I think this might be a stage for performances. And then there's some basketball courts and fishing. Like there's fishing here, guys. Like right outside your front yard. You just walk over there and throw a line in the water. And I like talking about fishing because I love fishing, and I love the relaxation and the exploration of fishing. Seeing what you're going to get is a lot like buying land. And a lot like selling land, you never know what you're going to get into, right? You just go for it, and there's your adventure. So over here, it looks like this is the lower land parts. I think there's a stream running through over here. You can see some water in the field over here. So people keep asking me in the comments, like, what about the flood? What about the flood? So there's buildings all around here. I doubt this is a flood zone, but we'll zoom out, and I'll show you the area where we're at first, and then I'll show you the flood zone maps. So this is El Dorado, and the airport's over here. And I was just figuring out last night for someone else looking at land here in El Dorado how to get in and out of there, that the airport is They fly through Dallas Fort Worth. I mean, you can take American Airlines or United Airlines into this airport here, and it's a little local regional Southern Express, whatever the airline's called, but you can buy the tickets through American Airlines or United Airlines from wherever you're coming from, and then they'll take you to Dallas Fort Worth. Was at least where they're directing me. They might do some other ones like New Orleans or something, and then it'll fly into this airport here. They had a couple flights a day in and out of here, so you could fly in and out of this little town. That makes the town not so little anymore, right? It's like accessible, so you could travel from here to go places if you wanted. So here's the town. As we go down further south, you start getting into Louisiana. So we're just north of Louisiana. We're in southern Arkansas. I was looking up the weather last night for someone else shopping some of the properties here, and it was like into the upper 30s. It got cold. This is like a cold front coming through, but it's raining. So it's supposed to be raining today and tomorrow here in El Dorado, and then it gets up into the 50s and 60s. So this is mid-November when I'm filming this. So mid-November, it should be 50s and 60s during the day. And then the lady was asking me what happens in the winter, how cold does it get? And I was looking up weather almanacs for January, and it looks like El Dorado is 50s and 60s during the day in January too. So at night it gets down into 40s or maybe upper 30s. Maybe a couple nights out of the year it gets down to 30 or something. So it probably freezes at night, but it doesn't seem like it's the kind of temperature that allows the snow to stick. Now, if you know more about the weather in El Dorado, please hit some comments down below. Tell us what the worst part of the weather is. And how hot and humid does it get in the summer? That'd be good to know too. Okay, so that's where we're at. I think it's like 200, almost 300 foot elevation. It's a lot higher elevation than down by the Mississippi River. So I don't think it's going to be as humid, but there's still some humidity going on. Well, here you go, 200 foot elevation. So we have GPS coordinates on the website. You click that and get driving directions of property. Click it in your phone. You get, walking directions, driving directions, biking directions, whatever. You can get directions by clicking that GPS. Got the legal description. It looks like it's a couple different lots. I didn't see that before. Lot 6, Lot 7. Yeah, so you could probably sell it two different halves if you really wanted to without making any new maps. There's power in the area. There's water over there. There's road. Taxes are about $27 a year. Closing docs, I mean, that's all included in the purchase price. And there's a Walmart, it's like 12 minutes away. There's a school here, it's 10 minutes away. There's a post office, it's 10 minutes away. There's a hospital, it's 10 minutes away. A gas station, it's 9 minutes away. There's probably closer gas stations. It's just one that came up. So let's jump into the park. So I pulled up some reviews of the park. So this park is called Maddox Park, and so you saw some pictures of it with the pond and the basketball and the baseball and the picnic fields and stuff. So Brianna Reedy says, this has always been a great park. I loved to come here as a child, teen, and now as an adult with my own kid. There's a small fishing pond and lots of room to run, not to mention the swings. So I want to go try those swings now, right? Annie Gray says, awesome atmosphere and a beautiful place to get a chance to look at the improvement there. Take your family there as well. Nia Scott Smith says, this park has been greatly improved since I was a child. I absolutely love the lake that was added, as well as the playgrounds and pavilions. Okay, so it sounds like the lake's new. Felina says, it's a big park, good for the kiddos. Nice. Beverly says, a great place to have a picnic. This person says, I can't pronounce her name, says, great park for fun and games. Has a lot of space to let the kids have their way. Nice. Robert Billings, fun place for the entire family. We need a play and slash at Maddox for the children that can't get so mad at the Camden, blah, 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 I don't know. Great family fishing. Wasp Nest at play area. I need to upgrade the Maddox Park sign in front. It's a fun. I can take my little siblings and run. Had lots of fun. Pool, playground. Maybe that is a pool. So maybe that other thing up top was a pool. I wonder what that was. So here's the maps. I don't know how to make this bigger. So here's the map of the floodway. So this funky color, this big band in the middle is a regulatory floodway. That's like, you're going to get wet. Don't build there. And if you look at it, there's nothing built there. The purple on the side is what's called a 1% annual chance floodway. So this is like your 100-year flood path. And so big storm comes through, hurricane comes out of the Gulf or something, sits right over the top of your head for a couple days. If maybe the river swells up into the pond, but it doesn't make it over to your property because the elevation goes up that direction. That's where houses and buildings and stuff are. So somebody planned ahead the floodway in the past and they didn't build in the floodway. They can tell. They probably just look at the trees and go, "Oh, I'm not going to build there," right? Um, but with modern technology, you can get these maps that give you a pretty good idea of where the flood paths are. So I'm going to try to show more of these flood paths in future Arkansas properties. People keep asking about the flood. Yeah, so let's go back to the website. This website is ruralvacantland.com, and this is the property, $999. This is the one by the park. So if you want this property by the park, please go to that Buy It Now button, like I was saying before, and click it and put your information in there, pay for it. I'll do the paperwork and make it yours. So one last thing that I want to point out on this property is that I've got the disclaimer on here. So this disclaimer right here on this part of the website is saying that I bought this property, got a contract, like nobody else can get this property unless the person that is losing it for taxes comes back. They got one last shot. So if this is your property and you're watching this video, go pay your taxes. Go pay the tax, pay them all off, and you get the property back. And then from the state, so the state's already taken away from the person, but they give you one last shot to pay off your taxes. So you got to pay them. You got to pay them like with hard money, not a credit card or a check. You got to have like cashier's check, and you got to like basically be there in person because there's no time to lose. So you got to pay that tax to get the property back. If the past owner of the property is dead or gone or forgot or in jail or whatever, and they're not paying the tax, so they don't care anymore, then they haven't paid the tax for 5+ years at this point. I get the property and I'll deed it over to you. If they come back and pay the tax, I will say, sorry, the person paid the tax. I'm going to give your money back. They give me my money back. State gives me my money back. And maybe I can point out some other properties to you, make you a deal on something else, or just try to make you happy the best way I can. So there's the one disclaimer on there with this property and this style transaction. And so I'm just trying to make it clear as I possibly can. So yeah, that's it. That's another beautiful property. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's Luke Smith of ruralvacantland.com. See you in the next one. Bye.